Hey there, welcome back to Holly's Garage. Today I've got a dresser makeover for my wonderful client Teresa, and this vintage tallboy actually belonged to her grandma. She had wanted me to paint it white because the finish was a little bit worn. You can kind of see in the clips that the old finish was a really thick shellac which had fish-eyed, so the surfaces were bumpy all over and it was especially noticeable on the top. I'm kind of sad that she wanted to go all white because of all this beautiful tiger oak patterning all over, but she had a vision and we're gonna make it happen. I like to start off my flips by removing the hardware before I go in with my simple green cleaner, just so I can get behind those knobs and get a really good clean. Now, because this is a really old piece, I just did a lead swab to be extra careful. I got these on Amazon, I'll link them below, but you just take a swab, you get it wet with water, and then you rub it on the surface for 30 seconds. And then if it turns pink or purple, then there's lead in the finish. And you'll want to be really careful about not breathing in the dust when you go to sand. Next, I noticed that one of the tracks on the side had fallen off, so I glued it back in place with some Gorilla Glue and clamped it tight. Next, I removed those caster wheels so that I could sand the wheels down later and clean up that metal.
They're strong.
Okay. Now, because the finish was so bumpy, I had to sand it back quite a bit to get the surface nice and flat. I'm getting over an ear infection here, and any wind or air would irritate it, so that's why my head and ears are all covered up. You'll actually be seeing a lot of Kendall in this video because he helped pick up the slack for me a lot for this project.
Oh, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. No hiding. You're not in trouble.
So I went ahead and taped off the mirror so that I could prime without worrying about getting any on the glass. My spray primer came in especially handy this time because of all the curves and detailing on the mirror that would for sure have brush marks if I had tried to do it by hand. So after that dried, I gave it a light sanding with a fine grit to smooth it all out. The top was still a little bit uneven even after I sanded, so I mixed up some water and wood filler and spread it all over the top. And when it dried, I sanded it all down smooth, making sure not to sand too much of it off. I like to do this on almost all of the tops I refinish because it's the surface that catches the most light, and so all the imperfections that are still on it will be highlighted. At this point, Kendall stepped in and primed the rest of the dresser and did some Bondo repairs. And can I just say how helpful it is to have a partner to do this with? He came outside while I was sleeping to do this all by himself so that when I woke up from my nap, he surprised me with a fully primed dresser. We're going to be using an all-in-one paint today, which means the top coat is already built in, and we're going to be spraying on the color today with this gun from HomeRight. I've talked about this sprayer before, but it's the easiest way to ensure a super flat, even coat, and it gives you such a professional looking final product that would be really hard to achieve by hand. We gave everything 3 coats to achieve full coverage. And if you've been here before, you know I always stress sanding lightly between every coat because a lot of the time you'll end up with dust or paint nibs that have settled on the surface, and you just want to keep your surface as smooth as you can before applying another layer. My client decided on switching out her old wooden hardware for these new metal knobs, so Kendall's going to give it a base coat of black before going in with a metallic gold color by Rust-Oleum. This is a trick I learned just from experience because one time I was trying to spray a small table gold and I had been spraying layer after layer just trying to achieve full coverage. So I find that with a base coat of black, you only really need a couple of light coats of the gold to get full coverage. After cleaning off the metal from the old caster wheels, we're ready to give it one last final coat, and after that we're ready for our finishing touches. I used Howard's Feed and Wax to liven up those old wooden drawers and bring some life back into them. Just look at how much of a difference that makes. It's so satisfying. And after all the casters are back on, it's time to put all the drawers back in, move the whole thing inside, and install that new shiny hardware. We're all done now, and just look at the difference. We smoothed down all that bumpy texture and we're left with a much cleaner, smooth look, and the dresser looks brand new again. So that's it for the furniture makeover. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me refinish this old tall boy. So let me know what you guys think of this flip, because I know people are going to be divided on this one. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to keep up with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.